With the 2019 Overwatch Summer Games having launched, I'm sure that everybody's hyped to get to play the new event. That's a joke. Nobody's hyped. But then again, nobody should be. Or at least, that's what Blizzard themselves think when it comes to the current state of Overwatch events. This is Master Ian Gamer, and let's get into it. This year's Summer Games event was rather unique in a number of different ways. First off is the event's dates, which on their own likely aren't too big of an indicator of anything. It probably was just a necessary adjustment when Blizzard realized that Hero 31 wouldn't be done by early July, and without shifting the event forward, there'd presumably have been a large gap of no new content this summer, which for sure would have generated more disappointment than simply releasing a subpar event. However, the other changes made to Summer Games are a bit more intriguing. The most outstanding change to me was the fact that the event was released without any build-up teasers whatsoever. Sure, Jeff Kaplan said that the event will be coming sooner than we'd expect in the July developer update video, but there were zero social media teasers released prior to the event launching on live servers. No prior start date announcements, nor skin teasers, just blam, there's the event. Now, there's a couple reasons why Blizzard may have decided to play it out this way. The first is that they wanted to recapture some of that thrilling excitement from the first year of Overwatch, back when all the events were new and surprising. Without getting any kind of announcement for the 2019 dates or skins ahead of time, it might feel more exciting since we didn't know what exactly to expect until it was already here. And this, in turn, may have been done to try and offset the fact that there was significantly less new content in the event this year than in any year prior, but I'll be coming back to that in just a minute. The second reason Blizzard may have gone without teasing the Summer Games event ahead of time is that they knew it wasn't anything special and that the player base would overall be disappointed by it. So they tried to make its release as quiet as possible, almost as if they didn't want anyone to know it was happening. Now, when you think about it, this is actually kind of a clever way of handling it. Let's assume that for one reason or another, Blizzard is just simply unable to make the returning Overwatch events exciting. The devs have seen how the community has responded to repeat events over the past year, but for whatever reason, they have to just release the same events again. Treating the events and their release as if they're just some little thing going on, which we don't really need to get hyped over, is the best way of going about this. The point of content teasers is all about generating hype after all, and the more hyped the community is for something, the more disappointed they'll be when it's inevitably underwhelming. So, just don't hype the community. You can still release the event, as there is some new content added with it, and there are plenty of players who will still enjoy the old content that returns with it, but there's no point in pretending that it's a big deal. The people who enjoy the event will enjoy it, and the people who don't, won't. It's as simple as that. This idea of downplaying the importance of Summer Games also fits with the small amount of new content added in it this year. Getting only 4 new legendary skins when we normally get 6 in an event like this could be an indicator that overall, Blizzard is just less interested in putting time and effort into the events. Some people will still argue that the small Summer Games this year is the result of Blizzard working on some other big surprise or new event which will be coming in the very near future, but I really doubt it. Sadly, we just don't know what it is that Blizzard's spending all their time and money on when developing Overwatch. Some people will try to blame the Overwatch League, saying that it's sucking up all the company's attention. Others will say that it's Activision neglecting one of Blizzard's current biggest IPs, but at the end of the day, we really can't say what the reason is. All we know is that there was clearly less effort put into the 2019 Summer Games event, and this decision was likely intentional on some level. Perhaps they see the plethora of content which has accumulated over the years for each event as adequate. With new players joining all the time, it might just not be worth it to keep pumping out loads of new content each year when the old event content is still fresh and enjoyable for enough of these new players. Or maybe Blizzard is just trying to gradually phase out events entirely, depending on what exactly the dev team is working on internally. Making new event content might actually be seen as something of a burden to them. They feel obligated to have the events come back every year because that's what people expect. And as I said, there's still loot box money to be made off the old old content, so they just add the bare minimum of new stuff to justify veteran players logging in again and simply leave it at that. It's also possible that Blizzard is looking at making some major structural changes to Overwatch's events and how they work. Perhaps the best evidence of this is the introduction of the epic skins being locked behind a weekly challenge mechanic. I do have some ideas about why Blizzard has begun focusing more on this Battle Pass-esque loot system, but I'm going to be saving most of that discussion for its own video which I have in the works, so be sure to stay tuned for that coming soon. Overall, the one thing we can say for sure at this point is that Blizzard simply doesn't care much for events in Overwatch at this point. I expect we'll still be getting small-scale new content additions in the future with each of the repeating events, but the days of getting super hyped for annual events may very well be over. That doesn't mean you can't enjoy the new skins and event content we do get, or even the return of old content that might still be enjoyable. I, for one, will always take low-effort summer games over no summer event whatsoever, and hey, a few new skins is better than no new skins. We won't know until the 2019 Halloween Terror event if what we've seen with summer games this year will be a perpetual trend with all events going forward, but I wouldn't necessarily get your hopes up for things going back to the way they were. Again, it seems most likely that Blizzard just doesn't want to devote the time or money towards making each event a big deal anymore, and that may just be something we have to get used to in moving forward with the game. So, as depressing of a note as that is to end on, let me know your thoughts about the state of Overwatch events by leaving a comment down below. Do you think that Blizzard has backburnered events for a reason, or perhaps the 2019 Summer Games was just a fluke? Either way, be sure to leave a like if you enjoyed this video, and share it with a friend if you really liked it. Subscribe, follow me on Twitter, and hit up the bell to never miss any of my future Overwatch content. This is Master Ian Gamer signing off, and until next time, have a great day.